What if I use this for effects? If you're watching this video on your phone, you can turn it sideways and now the video is in widescreen. So how does your phone know that you have turned it? Well, there's a sensor inside your phone called the accelerometer. This sensor can measure the orientation in X, Y, and Z directions. So it's great for adding tilt control to a device. What's cool is that you can easily buy this sensor online for your next DIY project. Today, I figured it would be fun to experiment with what would happen if I use an accelerometer to make music. I'm very curious how performing with an accelerometer feels compared to a more standard control like a knob. Okay, let's get started. Hi, this is Takumi. I hope you're doing well. Let's start by taking a closer look at how this accelerometer I got from Adafruit works. This sensor outputs varying voltage values according to its orientation. For example, if I start tilting it more in the X direction, this X out pin's output will increase. And if I tilt more in the Y direction, the Y out pin's output will increase. Voltage values like this can be read by the DAISY seed. With this microcontroller, I can program a synthesizer and use a sensor to control the sound. For example, I can twist the knob clockwise and the pitch of a tone increases. This works by connecting a potentiometer's varying voltage output to the C's ADC pin. Once the value is read, it can be mapped to the internal synth parameter, in this case, the pitch. This particular accelerometer's output pins work in a similar way, so I should be able to pretty much just replace the potentiometer and control the pitch by tilting. Well, then let's start hooking up some components to the DAISY. In order to connect the audio output to my audio interface, I need to connect an audio jack. Next, let's connect the accelerometer. First, let's bridge the analog and digital grounds together. And now all I need to do is connect the ground to the sensor's ground pin, the DAISY's analog 3.3 volts to the V in pin, and finally ADC 0 pin to the sensor's X out. While at it, let's just connect the Y out to ADC 1 pin. Cool, it looks like I have a motion synth built here. Well, let's start programming then. Whenever I get a new sensor like this, I test it out by displaying the output value on the serial monitor. As for programming, you can use different languages to program a DIY synth for the DAISY platform. For this video, I'll be using plug data as it's quick to set up and easy to program with any DAISY board. Here's a patch that prints the sensor's value. This patch, along with other files in this video, is included in the folder that you can download from the link below. By compiling this patch with the custom JSON file, accelerometer.json, in the same download folder, this receive x-axis object outputs the voltage value read by the C's ADC 0 pin. So this JSON file maps the receive object and the ADC 0 pin together. The name x-axis is set in this line, and pin 15 is the C's ADC 0 pin. Okay, let's compile and flash this program to the seed. Click the main menu icon at the top and select Compile. Select Custom JSON as the target board and open the custom JSON file mentioned earlier. Then toggle debugging printing to Yes. Before flashing a program, I have to put the seed into a flashable state. Hold on the boot button while inserting the USB cable into the seed. Now click the flash button in plug data. Using the Arduino IDE's serial monitor, which you can watch this video to learn how to set it up for DAISY, I can see the sensor value printed after selecting DAISY as the board and USB modem as the port. I should be seeing a sensor value scale between 0.0 and 1.0. As I tilt it from one end to the other, I should see the value increase, and vice versa. Here's the max, minimum, and flat. It's not as wide a range as I expected, but I hope the synth will sound fine despite this. We'll see. The Y-axis works similarly. Now the fun begins. Let's use the X-axis and Y-axis sensor values to program a motion synth. I think the first obvious synth parameter to start with is pitch. The goal is to tilt the synth more to increase the pitch, and vice versa. First, let's scale the aforementioned range to be between 0.0 and 1.0, which is easier to do math with. I can get that range by subtracting the minimum value from the input value, and then multiplying by 5. Cool, now I can easily map the sensor value to any synth parameter that I want. Let's have the pitch range to be between 220Hz and 440Hz. So it sounds a little shaky. But the good news is, I can smooth out the sensor data with the line tilde object. By increasing the ramp time of this object, the sensor value becomes smoother. Much better. Be careful not to smooth it out too much, otherwise you'll start hearing an obvious latency. Okay, let's program something cooler sounding. What if I map this to an FM synth growl? I'll map the x-axis to the FM synth depth parameter. It's also mapped to a low-pass filter in order to make the growl sweep sound more pronounced. Okay, I almost forgot that I have one more control, the y-axis. I can map it to something like a frequency shifter. Let's use the heavy frequency shifter abstraction that comes with plug data. Now I have two parameters that I can control simultaneously with one hand. Nice! Yeah, this synth is really fun to play with. That being said though, it can be a little tiring to hold this synth in the air while performing. It would be nice to put it on top of an object that I can place on a table and tilt around. If only I had something like that around. A half-sphere styrofoam, of course! Let's place the synth on top of it and see what happens. Yeah, it feels more stable and fun to play with. Now the next question is, what if I use this for effects? Let's add some movement to this hardware synth. First, I will need to add an audio jack for the input. And here's an effects patch that maps the x-axis to a low-pass filter. And the y-axis is mapped to the dry wet of this abstraction that includes a heavy reverb and a chorus made by Mike Moreno DSP. Okay, let's hear this in action. Okay, here's some things that I noticed about using an accelerometer to make music. Being able to control two parameters at once with one hand felt expressive. Of course, I can control two parameters at once with something like a mod wheel, which leads to the next point, dynamic movement. Compared to a knob or mod wheel, playing this motion synth can feel more dynamic. If this sphere were bigger, I can imagine that it could have felt even more dynamic and fun to perform with. And an instrument that looks dynamic to perform with should be fun for the audience to watch as well. And if you have built a handheld DIY synth, it could be fun to embed an accelerometer to add more control. I hope you have fun using an accelerometer for your synth project as well. And if you're looking for other cool sensors to make music with, I recommend our video on ribbon synth. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.